Today we are going to Ellenton, Florida to visit the Gamble Mansion. It has been there for over 100 years and is a historical landmark in Florida's history. This is the Gamble Mansion Plantation. It was called a mansion because it was a relatively large house for this time. He wanted to seem like he was a rich landowner, so
he built these Greek revival pillars. This also made the house look bigger. The house was built in two sections, first the back, then the front.
It was built in two sections because he had to build the back section first because he didn't have enough money to build the whole house. As you can see, the second section had thicker walls. This was because he needed to be able to withstand hurricanes, and it was for insulation.
Now we're headed to the canals.
This right here was made out of the same material as the house. It's called tabby. We do not know what it was used for, but historians believe that they preserved their meat, kind of like a refrigerator. And if you can see behind it is a 16-mile long canal that Robert Gamble's slaves had to dig up. Now, the canal had to be wide enough and long enough for his boat to come in from the Manatee River, collect the sugar, and go back to the Manatee River. The canal was also used to prevent flooding. Now, even though the sugar had to be watered regularly, it was not good for it to be flooded. This is Robert Gamble's cistern that he used to collect water. He did not like the taste of Florida groundwater because it had too much sulfur in it, so he created a system that collected the rainwater from his roof, and it came down and filtered into the cistern, kind of like a modern-day gutter.
Okay, as you can see here, there are multiple layers in the cistern. It was used for filtering and for cooling the water. A problem was mosquito larvae would breed in the water, so to solve that, Robert Gamble put minnows in the water to eat the larvae. So when you came over here and used the bucket to bring up your water, the only problem you had was maybe getting a fish in your bucket so you wouldn't get sick from mosquito larvae.
This is Spanish moss. It gets the name from it looking like a Spaniard's beard. In the Gamble Mansion, one of the beds was a rope bed, which instead of using springs like we have now, the ropes were tied from across the bed and they would loosen, and you'd have to tighten them with a key. Now, they used Spanish moss as a mattress. This was not a good idea because little bugs called chiggers would come from the moss and dig into your skin. It's very painful. And that's where we get the saying, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite.
This is tabby. Tabby is a mixture between crushed shells, primarily oyster shells, sand, water, and lime juice. This is what they used to build the Gamble Plantation. It was a cheaper version of cement. Here we have a bullet mold. They would have to pour lead into that, and then they would be able to form the bullets. It was primarily used in a pistol or musket. Here we have a board axe and an auger. These were used for building the house. The auger would bore holes to put in nails, and the board axe would cut plywood for the walls. Major Robert Gamble grew many things on his farm, such as beans, corn, lemons, limes, oranges, bananas, olives, and sugarcane are just a few of them. Here is an iron. What you would have to do is you would heat the iron, and then you could iron your clothes. After it cooled down, you would have to reheat it up if you wanted to iron anything else. Here is a butter churn. You would use the milk from a goat or a cow to make your butter. Here is a part from the sugar mill. The sugar cane would be ground in the sugar mill to make sugar. Here is what sugar cane looks like. The slaves would harvest it with this cane knife and then put it into the grinder.
This is UP Benjamin's Confederacy uniform. It is believed that he hid out in Gamble Mansion for about 3 weeks. Then he escaped to the Bahamas, then to Cuba, then to England, where he served Queen Victoria. Here is a short letter written by Caroline Fogelty stating that she knew Judah P. Benjamin was a guest at Gamble Mansion before he escaped from America.
Are you done?
Here is a document of all 185 slaves that Robert Gamble had on his plantation. A few pictures from Gamble Mansion.
This is the living room. It is one of the many rooms in the Gamble Mansion plantation. This is Major Robert Gamble. He built the mansion and is the original owner. This is Major Robert Gamble's desk. This is where he did most of his working. Here is a picture of the plantation. This is a bathtub. Families bathed once a week. They used the same bath water, and by the time they were all finished, the water was so dark. That's where you get the saying, "Don't throw the baby out with the bath water." Here is a bathing bucket and some soap.
This is Robert Gamble's father. He owned a warehouse in Tallahassee. Robert Gamble stored all of his furniture in that warehouse. The warehouse later burned down.
This is an example of the musket you had to own to get the 150 acres in Florida.
This is a candle mold. It was used to make candles.
This is the drip and dry candle method in iron and more soap.
This is the kitchen. It has the largest fireplace in the whole entire house.
These are the two people that helped Judah P. Benjamin escape from the Gamble Mansion.
This is a rope bed in Gamble Mansion. At the end of the bed, there is a hole where you would put a key in and tighten the ropes. The mattress was made out of Spanish moss. This was not a good idea because little bugs called chiggers lived in the moss and crawled into your skin. This was a very painful experience.
These are two ladies from the Confederacy. If they weren't alive, we probably wouldn't have the Gamble Mansion today.
This is an early American flag. It was handed down and donated to the Daughters of the Confederacy. It now sits here in Gamble Mansion.
This is a 100% cotton nightgown. It was very hot at night, but it protected you from mosquitoes.
This is a coffee bean roaster. Slaves had to spin the handle for 3 hours at a time.
This is Judah P. Benjamin. He hid in Gamble Mansion, then he escaped to the Bahamas, then to Cuba, then to England where he served Queen Victoria.
Here's an example of coffee beans used in the 1800s.
This is a weasel. It spun thread, and when it was finished spinning, a button would pop up. That's where you get the saying, "Pop goes the weasel."
This is a spinning wheel. It spun cotton into yarn that was later used on the weasel.
This is one of the original pieces of tabby from the mansion.
This is a plumper. An hour before bedtime, the slaves would come and plump the feather beds for comfortable sleeping.
This is a bread safe. You could put any sort of baked good in it, and there are little holes on the safe to ensure good airflow, but make sure that mosquitoes or flies don't get in.